This is Miss Miller, and I'm instructing your Ready lesson via video. And our topic today is just talking about how to prepare for our college fair. So, I wanted to talk to you all a little bit about why you should consider going to college because I know that's not the want of everyone, but I do think that it's important that everyone consider going. So, reasons why college is great is that it opens doors to opportunity and expands your horizons. And you get to experience different points of view from people that don't look like you, don't think like you, so that you have an opportunity to grow and become a better and more well-rounded person. Another reason to go is that graduating from college and just post-secondary education in general is a great source of pride because it's an awesome accomplishment. You work very hard to pursue post-secondary education, and your hard work will be an awesome source of pride for you. The final thought here is just that you get to follow your dreams and determine your future. You get an opportunity to be better qualified for jobs that you might be more interested in than if you had a lesser education. So considering college is an important first step in figuring out what you want to do as far as career and education. So one of the other reasons to consider college is that over your lifetime, you're going to earn more money if you have a higher education. So looking at the left side, you can see the different levels of education, all the way from high school dropout to a professional degree, which is like your lawyer and things like that, or your medical degree, so doctors. So if you're looking at a high school graduate, they earn around $1.5 million in their entire life, whereas someone who pursues their bachelor's degree earns about $2.7 million, which is almost double just from investing that 4 years of, I do know that it does cost a lot of money, but it's almost double the earning potential in your entire life. So it's something to consider. Also, even earning around $400,000 more if you pursue that associate's degree than your high school diploma. So something to consider. Another point to consider is that if you do go to college, you are less likely to experience unemployment. So 9% or let's look at the high school graduates. So about 6% do experience unemployment, whereas people who pursue associate's degrees and bachelor's degrees see around that 3 to 4% unemployment rate. So you are less likely to experience unemployment if you do pursue higher education because you're better qualified for more jobs. Another reason is just that it's really fun. Going to college is awesome. You get to do a lot of really amazing things and train for a job that you will enjoy. And there's a lot of activities that you can do on college campuses to just develop your personality and develop you as a person. You'll meet smart and interesting people, and you'll be able to have an opportunity to make lifelong friends. I know I still have friends that I met in college, and so does my mom, who's in her 60s. And then another reason is just that you grow in a lot of ways in college. You're there to develop not only as a person, but as a thinker, as a student, and just as a global citizen. So you'll be able to become more confident in your personality and in your identity, and also be able to just figure out how to express yourself and solve important problems. So if you don't believe me, I've got this great video from students that are going through it currently, talking about their college experience.
There's so much freedom in terms of time, scheduling.
You're not only choosing your own schedule, but you're choosing what classes you want to take, what classes you don't want to take.
Around the time of freshman orientation, we were given these booklets with hundreds of courses that you could take from dozens of different departments and programs. And I thought it would be a good idea to just grab a highlighter and go through every single page and mark up every class that sounded remotely interesting. And at the end of this, when I got to the end of the book, I probably had about 60 courses highlighted. Concept of the cosmos, sociology of the school, race in America, U.S. education.
The cool thing about college is that at any given point in any given day, you're going to run into a really amazing person who's going to blow your mind about something that you haven't thought about.
The support system is amazing. All the kids here are so passionate and they're so into their learning. I think that's what I find different than high school. I'm not the one that's pushing and pushing, and everybody else is just satisfied with doing what they need to graduate.
The students actually want to be there. That's a big difference in the high school to college. Everybody's really friendly. There's not as much cliques. Everybody's just cool, nice. You can talk to anyone. That's the best thing about college.
Just being exposed to new ideas, new people, new cultures, it's completely mind-changing.
So I work 3 jobs. I work at the admissions office, I work for my cultural center, and I work at my residential college. And I studied abroad twice, once in Madrid and once in London. And I've had 2 internships, one in Minneapolis and one in Alaska. And over the course of all these experiences, there have been several instances where I'm just like, I cannot believe how radically different my life is now than it was before.
Because it's fun to look at Shakespeare when you're actually in London, or it's fun to be able to dream something and then work for it and then see it happen.
I cannot believe every day I'm so surprised by how much I have grown since I was in high school. When I was in high school and I was looking at colleges, I had no idea how I was going to fare. I didn't know how I was going to succeed. It seemed like this big thing so far away that everyone else was in on except for me. I've really found myself, and I know who I am, and I'm just so excited by continuing this intellectual journey. It's just something that's very exciting to me.
It basically has allowed me to dream much bigger, and not only dream much bigger, but also realize that those dreams are very possible as well.
So there you can see that students who are currently experiencing college just are having a great time and growing as human beings, and that's another reason just to consider college. So we are having a college fair in order to kind of get all the different colleges or major colleges in this area that you might be interested in. And it's going to be in one place. So it's going to be held here at North Wake. Will be just all around the school because we do have a lot of different universities and colleges participating. So it is going to be in the evening at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, May 7th. So I want you all to go ahead and mark your calendars right now. So the purpose of a college fair is just getting representatives from different colleges in one place to give you the information about their institution. Rather than looking online, you'll have someone that you can ask questions to face-to-face. But that being said, and here are the colleges that you should prepare to see at the event. So we have someone from Meredith College, which is an all-girls local college here in Raleigh. We have NC State, which is a public school in Raleigh. We have East Carolina University, which is a public school in Greenville. We also have NCA&T, which is a local HBCU. We have Wake Tech Community College, just to ask more specific questions about the community college experience. We also have the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill coming, and that's a public university that's also relatively local. And then William Peace University, which is a private institution that is also local here in Raleigh. So the logistics of the night is, again, it's on May 7th at 6 p.m. So I want you to go ahead and mark your calendars now. And the agenda is just going to be, we'll have a college fair. So students will be able to go to different classrooms and the college representatives will be in different classrooms. And you can visit and get any materials that they might have for you to collect at their booths or in their little classroom area. Then we'll all convene in an area to conduct a college panel. So Ms. Walter or myself will ask questions to the college panel about, and that's just comprised of the college representatives, about the application process and more. And then we'll have a financial aid presentation. And so we have a financial aid counselor here from Wake County Public Schools that will go through a brief presentation about how to fund your college experience. So before we go, we need to make sure that you have a great plan, because while it seems like it's going to be a jam-packed night, you want to make sure you utilize every minute that you have with these representatives. So first thing you need to do is think about what you would want in a college. Come prepared to the college night with a pen and paper to take notes, maybe a folder to make sure that you're staying organized, because you will get a lot of handouts. And then look through the list of colleges that we've talked about and see if you're already considering any of those institutions, and if you're not considering those, don't not come to the fair because of that. We're going to have representation from public, private, community college, HBCUs. So we'll have a lot of different representation from different types of post-secondary institutions. So make sure that you keep an open mind and that you can learn just about the experience at a type of institution to see if that's something you're willing or you're wanting to pursue. And then also, if you're an upperclassman especially, you want to know your GPA and test scores so that you are better able to ask more specific questions to see if that college is a right fit for you or a possibility for you. So this might seem a little daunting because you're going to be talking to a bunch of different strangers that you don't know. And so just how to talk to a college representative, the first thing you should do when you see them is introduce yourself. So, hi, I'm John, and I'm a junior here at Northwood College and Career Academy. And then make sure you have very specific questions. So when you come for the event, you'll receive an agenda. We'll be sitting at the front door and you'll receive an agenda, and you'll have an option to pick up some specific questions that you might want to ask the representatives. If you don't want to do that, that's fine, and come with your own questions. That is totally welcome. And then if they ask you to fill out information cards, you should fill them out if you're interested in getting a follow-up from that institution, and also just make sure that you thank them for their time. So it might be kind of overwhelming to think about what types of questions should I ask the representatives. So the major topic that a lot of people are concerned with are the academics. So some different things to consider before you construct your questions are, what are some popular majors that are at the university or the institution? What are the typical GPA and test requirements to get into the institution? What are the size of classes and the availability of internships and career placement rates after graduation or during your experience at the institution? And then the availability of support services and professors outside of class if you're concerned about those. So obviously, academics is not going to be your whole life when you're in college. You want to consider other things that would hinge your decision on whether or not you want to pursue education at that institution or an institution like it. So you want to talk with the representative about financial aid. So ask them about deadlines and the required forms that they might have, and about merit scholarships and the application procedures for financial aid that they might have that are specific to their university. A lot of schools have scholarship web pages that they might direct you to, and if you have any specific questions about those, that would be a great time to ask. Then another additional question topic you might consider is asking about campus life. So the activities that interest you, if they're a club, if you're concerned if they have a club or a sports team that you're really wanting to do while you're in your college experience, ask about it. Also, you might want to ask about housing options, if you're required to live in dorms or off campus, and what the dining halls are like, and anything that has to do with your campus life experience. Then another great question to ask is about how to schedule campus visits and when open houses are available, because there's no substitute for the real thing of just going to the university and getting the feel for the environment. Like, if you can see yourself pursuing your education at that institution, if you could really see yourself being there for 4 years or for 2 years. And also another important part to ask about is the surrounding city or neighborhood or just area in general, because you're not going to be a college student forever, and also you're not restricted to just spend your entire time on the university campus. So see what sort of involvement the surrounding area has with the university and what opportunities you might have to go out into the surrounding area, and anything else that interests you. So if you have a question, ask it. So after the fair, you're going to have a bunch of information, especially from that notebook you brought to take notes. So you're going to look through your materials and notes from the fair and reflect on them, and then weed out the schools that you're not interested in. So Then you're going to look and do more research on colleges that are interesting to you, or the types of colleges. So if you speak to A&T and you're not particularly excited about A&T, but you want to pursue your education at a HBCU, that's fine. You need to do some more research, because A&T was our only HBCU representation that we had at the fair. So then from there, you should try to schedule a campus visit when you're able to, and then meet with your counselor to ask any questions. Miss Walter and I are here to answer all questions and to support you in this process. So your teachers now have a college fair game plan that I want you to fill out, regardless if you are attending the event or not. I want to make sure that you all are best supported and you have a great game plan to utilize every minute that you're at that fair. And I appreciate you all taking the time to listen, and happy Friday.